Do the pledge of allegiance and moment of silence. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And would you all keep in your thoughts and prayers the tragedy that happened in Dominican Republic a few weeks ago? Last I heard, there was over 220 dead.
Wow.
And it does affect a lot of our families in Lawrence and the one, and our hearts go out to everybody. And I'd like you to keep in mind all the rescue personnel who have to retrieve those bodies. Thank you. Roll call, Cheryl, please.
Ms. Tisla? Mr. Jones?
Yeah.
Mr. Mejia?
Present.
And Mr. Gator?
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of March 25th and April 1st, please?
I'll make a motion.
Good second.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Mr. DiStefano, you're on. Cash balance report, please.
Cash balance report as of March 31st. Account balance on February 28th was 3.867 million. We had deposits for the month of 3.67 million. We transferred in $1,250,000 from MMDT. See, less the payroll amounts shown, the warrant amounts. Leaves us with a GL balance, March 31st of $4,241,9214. We had $7,425,058 in the MMDT account. We transferred out $1,250,000 to the operating account. We made $30,859 of interest for the month, leaving us a balance of $6,205,918.36 and total operating cash balance of $10,446,110.50.
All set? Can I get a motion to approve the cash balance?
Motion to approve. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Finance report, you have consolidated cash has been a handout. Mr. Stefano just going to give you credit one. Revolving fund, the packet. Does anybody have any questions on the revolving fund? Good. Budget report, we have a packet on. Does anybody have any questions on that packet? Is Ms. Martel going to join us there? Is she not?
She's she's out this week.
Questions on the budget report? Mr. Boyd, you're going to do budget transfers, please?
So you have a list of transfers that were sent out to you. Because of the, as you remember, we transferred $950,000 from last year's budget into this year's budget. And we took a lot of that money and balanced out a lot of our accounts that were overbalanced, that were overdrawn. And then you have a list there where we're using some of those funds to balance out those line items in the budget. So those are the budget transfers that are being requested.
All set? Can I get a motion to approve the budget transfers?
Make a motion to accept. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Communication reports, donations. Before I ask Mr. LaVoy, I want to just go over this. Mr. Havell is the treasurer. He does 90% of the work when it comes to the alumni. Superintendent is president, I'm vice president, and Mr. Havell does an amazing job. He, it says in your packet that he gave $9,000. We added 2,500 to that, am I right, Mr.
Yes.
LaVoy? The new price is $11,500 from the Alumni Association. $500 for each sport, summer and winter. Plus he threw in 2 for academic scholarships,
Yes.
for a total of $11,500. Most of this is from the golf outing. Our golf outing is going to be August 1st. If anybody cares to join us, please do. Mr. LaVoy, I didn't mean to steal your thunder, but Mr. Howard was near and dear to my heart.
So Danny is been the treasurer of the alumni for probably 30 years now. And at one point, we've never really had a strong active alumni. At one time, we had put alumni together, we had some active members, about 10, 12 people that were overseeing the alumni. We had some meetings, and then people stopped coming, and so then it ended up that Danny was actually the only one that was kind of still involved in the alumni and raising funds. And the funds that are raised are through the golf tournament that happens every year, the first week of August. Usually it's the first Friday of August. There's a golf tournament, and so that brings in about around 25,000 every year to the alumni treasury. And so many years, Danny really will pretty much makes the decision because there is no real board for the alumni, although we're re-establishing the alumni, trying to re-establish alumni. So we are going to be sending out some information to all the alumni that students who have graduated, see who's interested in joining the alumni. We're submitting the IRS to get our nonprofit status reestablished. So once that's done, we can have an actual alumni with a board of trustees and leadership team. So, but anyways, he's has in the past given substantial amount of money to the scholarships to the school for students who are graduating. This year, they decided to do something a little different for all the kids who've had such great athletic teams this year. So many kids involved in athletics this year. He decided that after having a conversation with Mike, our athletic director, to give each program $500 to fund anything that each program could utilize to support their program, anything from a camp, equipment, or anything they typically can't get out of our regular budget. They're going to utilize that money. So we wanted him to come in tonight and be recognized, but he didn't want to do that. He's very, I wouldn't say quiet, but if you ever see him coach basketball team, you would say he's quiet. He used to be our varsity basketball coach here at Great Orange as well. He was also a carpentry teacher, which I worked with him for about 20 years basically. I worked with Danny as a carpentry teacher together. So just wanted to give a real shout out to him for the commitment that he's made to the alumni on behalf of GLTS. He does it because he loves the school, he loves the kids that come here, and wants to always do something for them. That's why he's always involved, keeping the alumni going. So that's Danny Havell.
All set, thank you. You want
Yes, please.
please?
There's something with pavers in the school property too. Is that part of the alumni or is that separate?
Yeah, so the other fundraiser they do is if you go out to the alumni field, which is the baseball field there, the turf baseball alumni circle that was designed. It's the entrance of that field. You have the flag and it has pavers with some trees and flowers and stuff. But anyways, any alumni can buy a brick to have their name put on the brick for it's $150 now. $150 for a brick. So any alumni that wants to have their name put out there, and the money goes towards the alumni.
Is it a good success or?
I mean, we probably, still a lot of bricks there to be sold, so a couple hundred bricks still can be sold. So if you know any alumni that wants to get their name put on there, or you can get a brick before they're all sold.
Especially the sports teams.
Yeah.
Right on the field. All set? Articles, Gridlaunch Technical School Workforce Development. Department celebrates graduation of solar installer training, technical training class. And boardwalk in conservation land to get a makeover, becoming accessible. I guess they're gonna widen that boardwalk, am I right?
Yeah.
It's there now, but it's,
They're
we're building
refurbishing,
pieces to,
yeah, they're refurbishing, yeah, wider and stronger. The one that's out there is starting to deteriorate. But we're helping them by building parts for it and metal brackets and, so in order for them to rebuild that bridge, that boardwalk, which is basically like a bridge so you can walk over the wetlands. We're supporting, which we've done other conservation projects and helping them in the past. So this is Andover Conservation.
you wanna touch on the workforce development since your picture is in here?
Yeah, so we ran for the last 4 months, a solar program, training unemployed or underemployed adults, training them how to install solar panels on the roof. That was a 4-month program. We had about, I think, 15 people who graduated from it. So we had a graduation, which we always have graduations for the workforce development program in the Four Winds. And so they bring their families, their spouses, their kids, their grandkids, their parents. So it's like a big party. It's really very successful and kind of moving to see people who are training in order to build a better life for themselves and their families. It's really what it's about, to have more opportunity, to have a better livable wage job that can make a difference in their lives. So those graduations are well done, and it's really nice to see people making changes in their life and their families, celebrating the hard work and accomplishment. So that happened 2 or 3 weeks ago, that particular graduation. And we do that every time there's another group that graduates to recognize them.
Thank you. Public participation is now.
One of the big things I think for GLTS that we have a huge imprint, make a huge impact on the lives of so many people in our community in terms of opportunities for changing. We do the most workforce development programs in the state. And so we're making a big difference in terms of giving new opportunities for people who are unemployed or underemployed in our community, along with all the students we train. So we impact the Merrimack Valley's economic strength and economy in a pretty powerful way that I don't always know that people in our communities realize or understand it. So, but these are just programs that we've been doing particularly the last 10 years. 10 years ago, we didn't have any program. Today, we're doing approximately $3 million a year of workforce development, which is a substantial amount of money.
The workforce, that's all granted money, right?
Yeah, it's all great.
What's the name of that thing?
Commonwealth Corporation, where the grant come from. Yeah, CTI, Career Technical Institute, with the state housing programs.
Any questions? Superintendent's goals?
So I gave you a copy of my goals from this year, which you never received, but you can read through it, and I can give a report on not only myself, but my goals are aligned with the administrative team's goal. So it's been a team effort working as, this is a new approach this year is that the team has worked very closely as a team to make the goals, everybody's goals much more impactful, a little more aligned to the school improvement plan, and it's worked out to be, I think, a really effective way to accomplish something that is consistent for all of us. So when you read through it, you'll see that it's connected to the overall leadership team's goals as well.
Any questions on that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Here you go. Let's just copy it.
You got one? You got the
Yeah, I
copy?
got one.
Anybody else got one? All right. Request amendments to the article. As I mentioned before, everybody recognizes the name GLEC. They've changed their name to the Collaborative for Education, Regional Educational Service and Training, and they made updates to their agreement. I believe Mr. Lavoy sits on that board, right?
Yeah, so we're a member of the CREST Collaborative, and so if you're a member of the collaborative, you have typically the superintendent sits on their board, what they call the board of directors, which is basically like a school committee. So it can either be the superintendent or one of our school committee members that can serve on the board. If someone's interested in serving on their board, just let me know, then you would take my place on the board. So we have one member, either it's myself or one of the school committee members, if they're interested in serving on the board. And they have one meeting a month, and they basically simulate the school committee meeting where they have an agenda, they go through the things that are happening within the collaborative and oversee the budget, any programs and issues that are supporting the different districts with support programs for everything from special ed students that we may not be able to provide services for, as well as other kinds of services that we don't offer that as a collaborative provide those services to other districts. They are making a change in their agreement, which is to remove the cap that non-member districts' tuition premiums cannot be more than 20% increase in a particular year. So they're asking, we as a member, our school committee should say they approve that or don't approve it. So I would be looking for a motion from somebody on our committee to approve this change in their agreement with us. But it's all districts. We're only one vote amongst, I think they have 14 or 15 other districts in their collaborative. So we each get one vote. So whatever we vote, I bring back to the next meeting, which is, I think, next week, whether it's either a nay or it's either for or against the change. And then typically they rarely does it not pass. So I would just be looking for a committee I would support their request for the change.
Mr. Lavoy, how many students do we send to GLEC this year?
I don't know if we've had any go there at all this year. Very little, we have very little, very rarely, they might go for a 40-day evaluation. If we're having a particular issue or problem with the student, they evaluate the students. They do an evaluation on that particular student's
They've been a
emotional.
great resource for us.
Yeah, so we don't use them all that much because we service our kids for the most part ourselves, because we have so many support programs that we don't really have to utilize theirs, but we are part of there. And we only pay for the students that they provide the service, and we pay for that service. So if they do a 40-day evaluation of the student, then we pay for that particular evaluation. But being part of the collaborative gives us a right to use whatever services they provide.
What type of evaluation do they do for 40 days? Why would they go there?
So if we're having a student that's having difficulty functioning here at the school, either working with kids or just having difficulty,
Drugs, alcohol.
all kinds of reasons,
Okay.
they would do a 40-day to determine what the issues and problems are and try to work to help resolve those issues. And then they'd come back to the school after that. Or they might get a recommendation for something other than coming back to our school, depending on the evaluation. A service that we may not be able to provide. And so that's really what the purpose of it is.
And the change doesn't affect us because we're a member of the group.
We're a member of the group, but in terms of, we don't, like, if you have a Lawrence or your regular districts, they have kids that are actually have specific difficulties or issues that go to that go to the collaborative rather than go to the, let's say, elementary school. In Lawrence, they go to the collaborative, they go to Crest for a specific program that they offer.
And they also take care of the transportation.
Yeah, they do transportation, and then Lawrence pays tuition for each of those students that go there. And they can't charge more than 20% of what you get in here, based on this new change.
Can I get a motion, please?
I'll make a motion, we accept it because it doesn't affect us financially.
Can I get a second?
I have a question. Second.
You seconded?
No.
Can I get a second?
I'll
Any
second.
Discussion?
I'll second it.
No
Discussion.
discussion, please?
Okay, so looking for an approval, and you gave a brief description, but it's a lot of stuff.
You get a
Are we
copy of the
approving this
whole
whole
agreement.
thing?
The
No.
changes are highlighted.
You're only approving the changes
There's
based
a
on,
lot of changes, but, so that's why I'm asking the
Yeah.
question, because you didn't go into detail changes. And I understand that this might not affect financially, but it affects the students that are in this program, which I believe is special needs. Actually, I know it's
yeah,
special
so,
needs. So I'm not sure what is it that we actually approve. Do we have to go through all this? Again,
All the
I went
changes are
through
being read,
these
okay?
things, but I got confused to a point where I stopped reading. So I don't know what if
yeah, so
I
basically,
were to approve this, I don't know what I'm approving.
so you're basically approving all the changes that are shown in this collaborative agreement.
Do you want some more time to go over? We can hold off till, there's no time limit on this, Mr. What is it?
Yeah, it has to be done by this month. Has to be voted on.
And why was this not brought up earlier? Is there not the? Never mind.
We just received it at the beginning of April.
Yeah, we just received it in April.
But there was a meeting on the 12th, and according to this, these changes were started on the 12th, so do you have information after that to bring us?
Well,
Again, this is just
yeah.
one of the many things that comes here. We get a package on Thursday, and then we need to be ready for the Tuesday night. It's
So according to the letter,
not that easy.
so according to this letter, it's basically asking to approve the proposed amendment for the first and second final reading by the Crest Board. The final step to finalizing the amendment to the Crest Article of Agreement is for each of the Crest members, district committees to vote on acceptance of the amendment. Amendment which Crest Board has already approved. DSC requires a majority of member school committees to approve the proposal. So this has already been approved by the membership. The primary purpose of amending the Article of Agreement is to provide greater flexibility. So the main purpose of the changes is to provide more flexibility to Crest Board in approving the annual budget. The most significant change in the article involves removal of a cap that non-member district tuition premium cannot be more than 20% above member district tuition. So that anybody, if a district goes to Crest and wants to have a service, they can't increase their service by more than 20%. That's not, we're a district member, so it doesn't impact us. Only if you're going there and you're not a member of the collaborative, they can't charge any more than 20% more each year for that service. Is what that's the main change that they're looking for based on this. So they've attached a 2015 version of the Crest Articles of Agreement with along with the document showing specific language to be removed and its replacement. So, I would say that what you would be voting on,
Highlight.
it would be any changes based on that language, would be any changes in here that are in there as well.
Okay, so I've answered this question. If I can ask it correctly. So this is just one of the things that I read. It says here somewhere that they are changing.
What page are you on, sorry?
They are changing this one.
Any numbers?
That's the first, when we started, changing.
After page 15.
After page?
Yeah.
15? I'm sorry, just so I know where you are. Okay.
Section 4, governance. So, I mean, it's just one curiosity that I have, and I want to know what this means. It says that an appointee of the Commissioner of Elementary School Secondary should be board members, so, but it says each school committee. So I'm not sure what that means. That means that the committee members are appointed, no longer are going to be voting members, and what that means, then now they're gonna be licensed, what is that whole thing? And again, that's just
Which page?
one thing that got my attention.
So they're talking about a member of the the Department of Education shall be a voting member to the board shall manage the collaborative.
But they cannot vote.
Right,
That what it
so
means.
it's an appointed member from the board from the DSC,
So they used to
But
be
they won't
able
be
to
a
vote
voting
with
member.
that, now they're not gonna be
be a
able to,
voting member.
but they used to be able to.
Right.
You wanna take a minute to go over it? We've got time, we can move it right along. All set? Phone calls, please. We have the motion, we have the second.
Ms. Kistler,
Yes.
Mr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Tarbox,
I'm sorry.
Mr. Mejia,
Yes.
and Mr. Hagan.
Yes. Ms. Richardson, you can update us on the new website for GLTS?
So hopefully everybody received an email a couple of weeks ago, I think it was about 2 weeks ago today. We were able to launch the new website. So we've moved over, our previous site was operated by Blackboard. The new website falls under a company called Final Site. So the new site features a more modern and visually appealing design. So the layout and the navigation have been improved to help families, students, and staff find information more easily, as well as just community members who are looking to find information about GLTS. So the new website also enhances accessibility to better meet ADA, so the Americans with Disabilities Act. They have specific compliance standards to ensure that the site is accessible for all people. So one of the things that you might notice when you're going through the site, where previously we had a lot of like linked documents that you would have to click on and open up, not only would those get outdated more quickly, but you know, if you clicked on those, they weren't embedded into the site, so they might not be accessible, like the colors, the format, and they wouldn't be translated. So hopefully that, you know, with the new design, it will be more accessible for all different people, whether it's language and disabilities. Our contract with Final Site also includes a mobile app, so we don't have this operational yet, but we're hoping to launch that somewhat soon. So there'll be an app that you can put on your phone, and it basically takes the content, it pulls the content from the website and puts it in a nice, easy format and like for a mobile app for cell phones in particular. Sometimes when you open up a website on a cell phone and it's small, it's hard to see, but the mobile app makes it much more accessible and you know, easy to see and easy to navigate on the go. There's also a two-way communication feature that we could enable. I'm not entirely sure yet if we'll be using that feature or not. We might, but PowerSchool, we're moving to PowerSchool for our SIS, and there's a lot of communication integrated into that as well. So more work to be done on this, on the app. And I just want to give a huge shout out, a thank you to our very own Oscar Mejia here, who really did the majority of the work. When we had the old site, we had, if you remember, we had another site that we were working on. We weren't able to transfer that content into this new website. So Oscar spent a lot of time doing that. He met with the admin team. He basically taught himself how to update the website, to navigate it. And I think his background in IT and programming was a huge benefit in that. He also trained other people so that they could update the website as well. So thank you, Oscar. Matt Oliva, he's our new visual design and production coordinator. Matt also, once he started, we threw him right into working on the website, and he did a lot of the work with not only adding some of the content, but making changes to the format, the images that are on the site, and just giving it a much more engaging and professional appearance. Also wanted to thank our IT department, so Louis Galligani and Jason Rivera. They helped also on the back end so that when we were ready to launch the site, there are certain things that you need to do on the back end. And they made sure that that was completely seamless. So we met with the company together, you know, just basically followed their instructions, and we thought it would take a lot longer for the website to switch over, and I think it happened in about 3 to 5 minutes. So, and we had no issues with doing that, so that was exciting. So encourage everyone to take a look at the new website. We welcome any feedback. We will continue to update it as needed. If you happen to notice anything that maybe is missing or inaccurate information or anything like that, you can certainly reach out to us and let us know. But we'll continue to update it and try to make sure that it's you know, as current and user-friendly and visually appealing as possible.
Thank you very much. Next up is the calendar. I want you to note that there was a type error. It says June and July. It's May and June calendar. Does anybody have any questions on any of those dates on the calendar? Update on aviation. Mr. LaVoy, would you please?
So the building, the aviation building that they've been working on since November or October is now 98% complete. We have 2 punch lists, but we started bringing in the equipment today, and we're all week working on getting the equipment in there. And then on, I think it's April 28th, FAA will be in to assess all the spaces, all the documentations to get approved to be a school, all the curriculum. We'll be doing an assessment with the instructor to obtain his knowledge and expertise in utilizing all the equipment in the curriculum. And then if everything goes well, we would expect their final approval. Once they approve, department head will come in and do their inspection of the space as well. And once that's done, we should be ready to open in September. They can get a chance to see it.
Any questions on that?
Yeah, at the end of the meeting, if you wanna take a quick look down there, we can walk down and look at the face. If you wanna see what it looks like.
So if everything goes fine with the FAA on the 28th, then we're all set to open the program for the fall.
After they're done, Department of Ed has to come in and do theirs, but theirs is basically predicated on FAA's approval. So FAA's approval is much more stringent than Department of Education. They won't give you clearance to start a program until FAA approves it.
And nothing at the hangar will hang it up at all, it's just what's on site here is,
So it's, well, first it's curriculum, all your curriculum has to be aligned to the FAA standards. And then all equipment has to be aligned to their standards as well. You have to have specific kinds of trainer, tools, equipment, right down to the screwdrivers you use. So they inspect all the tools and all the equipment as well. They also inspect all of our aircraft, so, we have the 1, 2, 3 airplanes, the jet and the helicopter. They review all that and how that aligns to the curriculum. So they'll be going out to the airport, take a look at the hangar, making sure, also the setup and the layout of the space, how it's laid out. Also how you document and keep all the assessment students do, all have to be locked up in a separate room. So they're very strict about the whole process and operation of the school. And they come in every 3 to 4 months to do a review ongoing once they do it, approve it. So it's not like you get approved and you're all done. It's at least 3 times a year they come in and they check the students' work and they check all the curriculum ongoing to make sure that we're following what we say we're going to do. So it's very strict. Everything is got to be followed to the T.
thank you.
Anything else? So we can expect taking in freshmen next
In
year.
September.
And one other question, that list of tools, that's from the FAA themselves. That's not going by our curriculum,
Right.
these are the things that the FAA say we have to have.
Yes. We have some equipment, some trainers that we purchased 2 years ago that are still not here. So,
Are they outdated?
no, they're trainers, they're replications of either engines of airplanes or brake systems but the trainers had to be special ordered and they take typically anywhere from a year, 2.5 years to build them and get them to us. But the ones that are not here yet, we're gonna get, I think there's 6 trainers coming in June, and then we still have about 8 more, 7 or 8 more that are gonna be done until later. But because we have the aircraft, we're gonna be okay without those trainers to get approval. And then, but we are hoping to have the trainers in by June because our grant ends in June and we have to have them, in order to get the cost covered, they have to be here by the end of June. So it's a tight, it's really a tight timeline in order to meet the requirements. So we already asked for an extension beyond June and they're supposed to get back to us soon. Let us know if we can have 3 or 4 months so we can get the rest of the trainers here.
Thank you. Okay. The missions report, who wants it? Anybody have any questions on the missions report? John, Brenda, you want to go over that real quick?
So we've continued, we've taken in recently, or did we just take in, we just accepted another 80 or so?
Yes, so,
Recently.
we just got up to our final enrolled number, pre-reg number of 485. So that was exactly the number that we were looking for. I think we sent out another round of roughly 80 applications and some of those students declined.
Yeah.
We have our accepted students day Saturday, May 3rd.
Any questions on that?
May 3rd, is that like the last round of acceptances for the incoming freshmen?
No, so May 3rd is just the day that the freshmen, the incoming freshmen and their families can come, and the admissions department is setting up a fun event. Typically, in the past, they would do an assessment that day. This year, they're not doing an assessment. So they're gonna have, you know, the clubs and activities set up. There'll be an informational video going in the pack, book fair in the library. So really an opportunity to come in and kind of connect with people, have fun, just learn a little bit more about the school.
What time? I had somebody ask me about it, and I said I'd have to look.
I would have to look too, I don't know the exact.
Would it be on the
Nine?
website eventually?
Yeah.
8:30 or 9?
Is it 9 to 10:30 or 9:30 to 11? It's something like that, it's an hour and a half in the morning.
Okay, any questions on that? Reports of the committee? None. Any business? None. Oscar, you're gonna be in bed early tonight.
Yeah.
Personnel considerations. Resignations, none. Leave of absence, none. Retirements. Kathleen Murray. Murray, special education specialist, effective June 27th, 25. I think Kathleen's been here since 2006.
Yeah.
Good for her, happy retirement. Appointments, Karen Sheely, advanced manufacturing instructor, effective April 7th, 2025. And no job postings. Agenda items, Can I get a motion to enter into executive session?
Motion to enter executive session. Second.
Let's go to executive session. Can we get?
Aye.
Opposed?
So good.
More 30 seconds?
No, good.
Good. Does anybody have anything further? Can we get a motion to adjourn?
No, I do. I'm sort of gonna bring up the yellow dress again. I know you and I have talked about it. Um, Hearing that guidance felt that it would be uncomfortable for some of the students, I think you're playing to a small minority of the student population. You know, the performance, usually when it comes to the school, is usually seen by what, 600-700 students at one? If you're talking a very small group, there's a larger audience who's not getting the education for that performance. And it's too late for this year. It has been here for at least 5 years, 5 different performances. And I do understand what you're.
I'm sorry, can I get you to explain what the yellow
Sure.
dress is to everybody, please?
The Yellow Dress is a dating abuse performance put on by one actress. She
Like
comes
a
out
play,
on
like a play
stage.
or a show
Yeah.
for the students.
One actress, she comes on stage, and she's about usually 24 to 27, she looks like about 17, 16. She's all excited, the prom's coming, and she's talking to the audience like we're talking now. And she's excited, the prom's coming, but she's got a boyfriend, but he broke up with her, and he's taking something else, but she's got this prom dress, and she goes, he changed, and I wanna tell the other girl what she was really like. And she gets into stories about telling him how wonderful he was, the parents loved him, they all hung out together as all their friends. And then slowly, it was just him and her. He started to isolate. He started to isolate her. Tells her that, oh, he bought me a nice thing, he bought me a cell phone. And it sounds nice, but then the logic is, well, who gets the cell phone bill? Who are you talking to? How come you didn't pick up when I called? So it's controlling. Overall, the performance goes on, and then she wants to show the prom dress. She comes out, and she goes, well, I got this other one's really my favorite, but I don't know. She goes back, she comes back. It's a yellow dress that's splattered in blood, and she proceeds to tell how he asked to get together one more time, and it didn't work out. They go their separate ways, and he kills her, leaves her on the side of the road. It does have shock treatment, because when all the students come into the auditorium, they're all chatty away. When you get about halfway through the quiet as can be, they are attentive. There's a lot of interactive between the group. We have even seen some students approach the actors specifically at the end of the performance to ask more questions. So it's something we've been doing between Methuen High School, and the opposite year we bring it here. And frankly, about 12 years ago, I had a female student that worked for me. And she was in her academic week. I said, there's a show coming, I want to make sure you get there. I saw her come in. I lost track of her after about 10 minutes, 15 minutes at the end of the show. Next day, I said, where'd you go? This particular girl had a restraining order against her boyfriend, so she was right in the mindset of dating abuse. The boy. So yes, there will be some students that are going to be impacted directly, but other students are going to learn what to look for when they see a friend that starts to get isolated out and so on. So I
Any
just,
cost to the district?
yeah, I feel it's a good overall educational program. That's what we're here for. I mean, it's not just about, it's a life skill.
And the Thorn Exchange Club pays for this, there's no cost to the district.
Yeah, we put on 2 performances. It's $1,000 per performance. So, out of
Are
that,
other schools doing it? I mean, outside of Methuen and other districts?
It's Deanna's theater group, and I don't know how widespread they are. To us, they're just in New England, but I don't know how widespread they are. The group actually started by the parents of the girl that was killed. It's based on a true story, and they modify it slightly, but it's a true actual story. And they modify it. This particular group offers bullying presentations for fourth graders. Whether it's cyberbullying and on the bus bullying. We're in the process of trying to offer that one to middle and fourth graders this coming year. But, so,
We can talk with, when we talk to Brenda and the guidance director again.
it is too late for this year, but I mean, we will probably offer it one more time in 2 years, and after that, we'll offer it to another school at that point.
Yeah.
I think it would be a loss.
All right, let's, let Brenda and I talk to the guidance department, and then I can get back to you again.
Okay.
Anything else? All those in favor of adjournment? Get a motion? You got a second? You got a second?
We didn't get a motion yet.
We get a motion?
Motion adjourned.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.